Dating after 60 isn't romantic or dreamy the way it felt in our 20s or 30s. At this stage, no one wants to gamble on the wrong person anymore because the cost is simply too high. And if you're thinking about dating to remarry in your later years, you need to be more discerning than ever. I know this firsthand. After 2 failed marriages, I've learned, often painfully, what happens when you choose wrong. And I don't want you to repeat my mistakes. That's why in today's video, I'm going to share a simple test to know if this man is truly worthy of your heart or not. Hi, welcome back to Journey After 60. Today, I'll walk with you through those 4 questions so you can protect your peace, honor your time, and step toward love with clarity instead of regret. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Journey After 60, and save it so you can revisit these reminders before your next date. Here, we don't trade in illusions, we share honest truths about love after 60. So let's begin with the very first question, the one that quietly reveals whether a man is carrying peace into your life or baggage you can't afford to carry. Number 1. His vision of partnership. What does togetherness mean to him? When a woman past 60 steps back into dating, the first question she should ask isn't about hobbies, travel, or even family. It's about partnership. What does a relationship mean to you at this stage of life? Because here's the truth. After decades of love and loss, men carry very different ideas of what togetherness looks like. For some, it's about companionship and shared routines. For others, it's about independence with occasional closeness. And for a few, it might still be about control or escaping loneliness. His answer reveals not just what he wants, but what life with him will actually feel like. Most women assume love itself will clarify these things over time, but waiting to find out is costly. Asking up front spares you from years of walking alongside someone whose version of partnership doesn't match yours. Pay attention to how he responds. Does he speak of support, respect, and sharing life's burdens? Or does he hesitate, leaving you unsure where you'd stand in his world? His words and his comfort in answering are quiet indicators of whether he's ready for something steady or still drifting. What this means for you is simple. Don't fear sounding too direct. At this age, clarity is kindness. The man who values real partnership won't run from the question. He'll welcome it. And the one who avoids it, he's showing you a truth you need to see sooner, not later. So the first question every woman after 60 should ask isn't about surface details. It's about vision. Because only when you know his vision of love can you decide if it's one you want to walk into. Next, we'll move to the next question, one that doesn't just reveal his hopes, but his history, and whether he's truly learned from it. Number 2. His past lessons. What did he learn from his previous relationships? Every man past 60 carries a history, marriages, long partnerships, or seasons of solitude. The question isn't whether he's lived through them, but what he has learned from them. Instead of asking about details that stir bitterness, ask with calm curiosity. Looking back, what did your past relationships teach you about yourself? and about love. His response will tell you more than any long story could. Why does this matter? Because a man who reflects on his past with honesty shows emotional maturity. He's able to own mistakes, acknowledge growth, and recognize what he wants to do differently. In contrast, a man who blames, avoids, or dismisses his history often reveals that he's still carrying unresolved pain, and that weight has a way of spilling into the future. As the philosopher George Santayana once said, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." The same holds true in love. A man who learns from yesterday carries wisdom into today. A man who refuses to look back only drags old shadows forward. Think of it this way: you're not seeking perfection, you're seeking awareness. The one who can say, "I learned patience," or "I realized I needed to communicate better," is already standing on firmer ground than the one who insists he was always right. His lessons, or lack thereof, foreshadow the kind of partner he'll be now. After 60, time is too valuable to repeat old cycles. A man who hasn't faced his past will inevitably bring it into the present. But a man who has faced it with humility can finally offer the peace you deserve. So let this question guide you not as judgment, but as discernment. Because when you hear how he interprets his history, you'll know whether you're meeting a man who has grown wiser or one who is still repeating yesterday's mistakes. Take a moment to press save this video, so on the days you need comfort or clarity, this reminder will be right here for you. So the real measure isn't whether he's had a past, we all do, but whether he's grown from it. And if he hasn't, that silence speaks louder than any story. Which is why the next question matters even more. Not about where he's been, but about how he chooses to live and love in the present. Number 3. His daily habits. How does he actually live his life now? Many women focus on what a man says he wants in a relationship. But here's the real test. How does he live when no one is watching? Instead of only asking about dreams or future plans, ask him directly, what does a typical day look like for you? This simple question uncovers more truth than hours of conversation about values, because the rhythm of his daily life will tell you whether he's healthy, balanced, and able to make space for you, or if his habits will drain the peace you've worked hard to protect. A man might say he values companionship, but if his days are consumed by bitterness, isolation, or unhealthy patterns, love will struggle to grow there. On the other hand, a man who shows discipline, joy in simple routines, and respect for his own well-being is often a man who can offer steadiness to someone else. Words reveal intention, but habits reveal truth. His answer isn't just about what he does, it's about the life you'd be stepping into if you chose to walk beside him. I've seen this play out in real life. My longtime friend Catherine, after her divorce at 62, met two very different men within the same year. One was charming and spoke beautifully about wanting a serious relationship, but when she asked about his daily life, the truth came out. He spent most days drifting between the TV, the bar, and long naps. His words sounded promising, but his habits showed he wasn't truly building a life she could step into. The other man, Richard, wasn't as flashy in conversation, but when he described his routine, morning walks, volunteering twice a week, cooking healthy meals, and making time for his grandchildren, Catherine immediately saw the difference. His daily choices revealed a man who valued discipline, joy, and connection. And it was no surprise that the relationship with him grew into something steady and fulfilling. So don't overlook this question, because in the end, it's not the promises he makes, but the life he already lives that shows whether he's truly ready for you. Your voice matters here. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever asked one of these questions, and what did you discover? And this brings us to the fourth and final question, the one that doesn't just reflect his present routines, but reveals the kind of future he's truly preparing for. Number 4, his future direction. What is he truly looking for in the years ahead? By the time we reach 60, the future isn't an endless horizon. It's a path we choose with intention. That's why the final question every woman should ask is simple but powerful. What do you see for yourself in the years ahead, and how do you imagine sharing that with someone else? This question isn't about whether he has a 5-year plan written down. It's about whether he's living with purpose or simply drifting. A man who knows what he's looking for, whether it's travel, community, family closeness, or simply a quiet companion, gives you clarity. You can see if his direction matches yours. Too many women fall into relationships hoping the future will work itself out. But misaligned paths only grow wider with time. If he's dreaming of constant adventure while you crave steadiness at home, or if he plans for solitude while you long for connection, those differences will not shrink, they will deepen. And this isn't just theory, it's something I found again and again in my own research. A 2021 survey by the Center for Healthy Aging showed that 68% of adults over 60 who experienced failed relationships later admitted it was because their life goals and future expectations were not aligned. Even more telling, 72% of women in the same study said they wished they had asked clearer questions about a man's long-term vision earlier on. So don't be afraid to ask. His answer may inspire you, or it may warn you, but either way, it gives you the gift of choice. Because love after 60 is not about guessing where someone is headed. It's about knowing whether you want to walk that road with him. That is why this final question matters most. It doesn't just show you the man he is today, but the life he is inviting you into tomorrow. We've walked through them one by one. Now let's bring them into focus so you can hold all 4 questions in your heart at once. At the end of these 4 questions, the message is simple. Love after 60 is no longer about guessing or hoping. It's about clarity. When you dare to ask directly, you protect your peace, honor your time, and open the door only to the kind of man who can truly walk beside you. And here's the deeper gift. These questions aren't walls to keep love out. They are gates that let the right kind of love in. They remind you that wisdom, not chance, is what guides your heart now. As Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. In dating, Asking the right questions is how you bring light to what matters most. So if today's message resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe to Journey After 60, and don't forget to save it so you can revisit these questions whenever you need them. And I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing which of these questions spoke to you most, or what topic you'd like us to explore next time. Thanks for watching my video, and see you next time.